I think it's good to operate from a new co that is clean and to have a holding co that is holding your interests. You could use that one holding co for everything that you do, most likely, certainly in the direct response space. But I think it's good to have a separate one from your business for that. Just, that's a years of experience talking kind of thing more than anything. It's not like a requirement, but I know that I wish I had done that a time or two in the past.
Um, okay, so I guess as a little bit of an introduction, because it's the first time you and I have spoke, I'm a direct response copywriter, marketer, and I have a CFE deal that really is the first time I've done this. I've done all sorts of stuff on top line, royalty share, things like that.
Mhm.
But now I have one that's moving more in the equity direction. So kind of just want to pick your brain, I guess, on how to structure that deal, some of the differences in the top line versus bottom line
Okay. What
shares.
question do you have?
Um, so the business is actually completely new, but it's a bunch of operators who I know and trust. I know that they can do this sort of thing, which is why I'm even considering it.
Mhm.
Does that change? Most of the stuff that I've gone through in the materials is about existing businesses, taking options and things like that to prevent tax hits and things.
Mhm.
Since this is a pre-revenue company, is just taking the straight equity pretty much
You should be
simple as
fine
can
with
be.
that. You can check with a tax lawyer because I can't give you legal or accounting advice. But generally, if it has no value because it's pre-revenue, then for you to come in and get whatever you're going to get shouldn't be a consequence to you that would cause you to not do that. So when we do that, even when we form new companies where
Mhm.
like an old co is putting in some assets and we're contributing some other stuff, we'll go on and take the equity as opposed to doing an equity like thing because there isn't any value to take, right? So there's no tax hit because of the acquisition of that ownership interest. So yes, you are thinking along the right lines there.
Okay, that's very helpful. And then on that note, would I put together probably a dedicated LLC just for that ownership stake?
So if you've got, it's good to have an SPV that is, special purpose vehicle for doing your acquisitions. So if you have one that you already have, you can use that, or you could set up a new one. What I wouldn't do is your existing direct response business that operates out of, say, a corporation or an LLC. I would not have that company do that deal because it potentially, if something went wrong, you write something and it's a copyright violation and that creates liability for them and they sue you, or worse, they do something wrong and you are not at fault at all, and now there's some liability in this entity and you have potential liability that could then extend to the other assets in that company. I think it's good to operate from a new co that is clean and to have a holding co that is holding your interests. You could use that one holding co for everything that you do, most likely, certainly in the direct response space. But I think it's good to have a separate one from your business for that. Just, that's a years of experience talking kind of thing more than anything. It's not like a requirement, but I know that I wish I had done that a time or two in the past.
Mhm. Okay. I guess a follow-up question to that. So they're going to give me a small upfront fee just to get in on this. Should I hold that in or collect that in my existing direct response business, or should everything?
It doesn't matter. That doesn't matter because they're paying that effectively as a service. So it depends on how you structure the deal, but I think it's fine to receive that either place.
Mhm.
That's going to be ordinary income to you, so nobody's going to really care, no matter how you get it.
Okay. Um, any other landmines that I should be aware of?
So many landmines. And you have the joy of discovering them all as you continue to step foot after foot after. No, I'm just kidding. No, I mean, I think it's going to be pretty simple. I would, I think if it's a small deal, just the thing that you're going to want to be most conscious of is just clarifying the roles and responsibilities of the people so that there's no misunderstanding as to what's expected, and then having that written down. That's really the biggest landmine I would say for anybody is to do a deal where they didn't really talk about specifically what each person was going to do in exchange for what they're getting. And then somebody gets resentful because they thought that you were going to do X and you thought that doing what they wanted involved doing X minus 5, and therefore that can be a challenge. So the best way to stop that from happening is to literally get on the same page, meaning that you're literally looking at this document that says, this is what we're going to do. Yeah, this is what we're going to do. Okay, we agree. Yeah, okay, great.
Got it. Yeah, I think I ironed most of that out with them yesterday, particularly in terms of what my role would be in the marketing world, but all the other stuff that happens in the business, I guess we got to get some clarity on that.
Yeah. And then the other place would be in the reps and warranties, the representations and warranties. Just you want to be sure that the facts as you understand them to be represented to you by them are in fact the facts. And if they're not, then you have some recourse because they've represented and warranted that they own the thing that they're doing, that they don't have any lawsuits that are pending, et cetera, et cetera.
Okay.
That's standard boilerplate, which is pretty much in the agreements that you've got in the in the portal. And what I always recommend you do is put that agreement together yourself and then send it to an attorney just to review, pay them an hour or two of their time. It's a great investment. And it's so much less than if you ask them to put it all together.
Okay. Thank you. I think that's all I had.
Okay. You're very welcome.